Hey, booze, hey. Do your blankets feel like super glue in the morning? Well, sis, it's time to shake them off. Welcome to Wake Up Happy Sis, the show that jumpstarts your day with a bang. We're strolling down these self-care streets as we navigate the maze of wellness and healing. We're helping you live happy, healed, and whole. And we do it all with a hearty dose of belly laughs for good measure. Stay tuned and get ready to wake up happy, sis. Hey, booze, hey. It's your Chief Self-Love Officer here, Leanne Dulce, along with my fabulous co-host, Sheronda and I. You're tuned in live to the Wake Up Happy Sis show on KCCR Cityscape Radio and a lot of other platforms where we're changing the narrative for our people because we are always telling our stories our way and we're unapologetic about it. Today, we're diving into a topic that's hopefully is going to feed your mind, your body, and your spirit. Feed your soul books to transform your life. If you like me, and I know Sheronda is too, we love to read, baby. We will read some books. Okay. So if you didn't know, December is Read a New Book month, and we're sharing some titles, some of our personal favorite titles, some titles we may have written ourselves that you just need to go on over to Amazon, over to the websites and get. And when you're looking to rewrite your narrative, to build your career confidence, or really deepen your spiritual foundation, there are books that can help you with all of that. And we've got you covered. We have some fabulous guests joining us today. Joy Young, a powerhouse author and life coach. We're going to call her Joy the Coach Young. You're going to put some respect on the coach when you say it. And Dr. Carrie Young-McWilliams, affectionately Dr. Carrie, an educational leader and social justice advocate. Now I'm going to let these ladies come on up and tell you more about themselves, and we are going to get into it. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hello.
So,
Good morning.
Welcome to the Wake Up Happy Sis show. We are so happy and excited to have y'all here. And look at all these black girls in cute ass glasses here. Like, they ain't ready for all this style and pizzazz we tossing at them this morning, but they better get ready.
Better to see you with my dear.
Absolutely.
I never learned to fan, but I get in my head and spirit. I know I'm doing it.
Whenever there's a good clackable moment, we gotta whip the fan out. So know we see you.
Okay.
So I'm a fan of letting people introduce themselves because I feel like nobody can really do you justice like you. So we're going to start with Joy, the Coach Young. Welcome, and tell us a little bit about you and what you do and how you got started.
Okay, so I'm going to give it all to you, and I'm going to try to make it as small as possible. I am Joy, the Coach. I am your millionaire, your mystic, your mindset transformer, and I am so involved in so much. So dealing with the coaching, when I say the coach, is because I feel, especially Black women, we have the ability to be so perfected in so many different avenues. So I don't limit myself to one coaching aspect. So I'm the coach. If you need it, I can help you. And if I can't, I can give you somebody who can. And so I benefit and I utilize and capitalize off of those resources. So some of the coaching that outside of being an author, because I've authored 4 books to date, I also have a few coaching programs, and I have one that's specifically that is geared for Black women, because yes, I am in corporate America. And as a director, we don't have as much representation. And so what I do is help women either who want to build themselves up in corporate America, finding those niches to perfect themselves, or if you want to transition out, because we are a skill set and we need to be able to utilize that and how to position themselves out of corporate into their own space. So that's something that I do want to be able to integrate into the conversation today. But those are my focuses: success, manifestation, and realization. And so I'm glad to be here. I'm actually working on the doctorate too. I got 7 more classes because I really just want the hat. Like, I don't even know if I use it. I want the hat. and the
Come
extra
on
letters.
behind the black velvet rope.
That's it. That's it.
When I
Because we're dominating this space. We are the true thought leaders. We are the true leaders, and we're so strategic. The fact is, we're going to show them how we're going to take our skill set of what they paying us on this low hourly wage and transition it to a consultant where you're going to pay me my work, and that is our
hello,
goal.
amen, amen,
I know
and
that was a lot.
but it's okay, Joy, because I've always that's the only reason I want to go back and get that doctoral degree
It's
is so I
just a
can
hat.
have the hat because the
Oh,
hat is a lot. Now I gotta pick the school based on the color, and that don't make no sense because I have to have a specific color of hat. It's
you
gonna
have
be
to.
purple. It's gonna be purple.
All right.
I like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Okay. And Dr. Carrie, welcome. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and what you do and who you help?
Well, hello, hello, hello. I feel like the coach has just, read my autobiography. So,
Listen, black girl
yes,
magic.
that
Yes.
black girl energy is everywhere. So, I am over almost 30-year seasoned educator
Right.
who left the building level, the K-12 level, have done everything from classroom teacher on up to working on federal policy under the Obama administration uh, for No Child Left Behind, Title II, which is the professional development part for teachers. So, what I will say about that is I felt that I knew the system and could do better work outside of the system. So one day I just walked out. I said, I don't know what I'm getting ready to do, but this ain't it. So,
Mm.
so one of
Know
my
that.
many life board members said you should be a consultant. So I have just that. I have two businesses. I consult with as a advocate for families and children who are in very vulnerable populations. They're in the position of the parent because many parents don't know how to navigate those different sectors and get their children the free, appropriate public education that they deserve, that is right and is sometimes being treated as a privilege. And then I have a partnership, Empowered Solutions by Young and Horner. And there we are the coaches that we allow people to come to us with their situations, their issues. We sit there, we dissect and determine what is the best way for them to attack their problem or their concern. But in the center of it all, we are about equity and belonging. And if that's not part of your message when you come to us, you can't hire us. We won't allow you to. Saying no to projects is hard, but if you are not doing things to further people who look like me, if that's not in the center of your policies and your procedures when we come on board, then we really don't want. So my partner and I were in a nonprofit, and we were like, this is not doing what they say they do.
Right.
So let's start our own thing and really like do what we are supposed to be doing. So if you call us in to do your curriculum, we're gonna make sure that no matter who's on Pennsylvania Avenue, we're gonna make sure that it has integrated in readings. We're gonna bring in the Baldwin, we're gonna bring in the Walker. We're gonna let students know where they come from, and they come from greatness, and it won't all be oppressive in action. So our job is to remove oppression from all systems and walks of life one day at a time. So that's what I am about. I am a mother of two young adults. I'm so happy to say. And also a retired naval wife. So,
Oh,
I did, like I say, we are the coaches. We have military students that are being oppressed. We have children that are dealing with a lot of things. And I'm on my most vulnerable populations. That is where my key and my heart is. I love my counterparts and my contemporaries, but children are going to be our workforce and our future for tomorrow. And if we don't make sure and usher them through where they need to be, then there is no tomorrow.
Right.
And I think that's super important, especially now in our Agent Orange era, where you're starting to see companies already do away with the DEI initiatives that lets you know which companies really have not been about us and we've been those tokens, right? Those required tokens. Because a lot of companies are still holding strong and true to their DEI initiatives, but you have like Walmart and a couple others that have come out and have already started doing away with their DEI initiatives.
Well,
It was,
if
it was
if
the
I
money.
could piggyback off of what you said, Leanne, the issue is us. We don't know our value in the economic system. And I've been putting out information exactly because like I tell people, the economy is a social system, not a financial system. It's a social system of three parts: need, producer, consumer. We've always been the consumer. And because of that, when we look back, the Jewish community circulate 28 days in their own community before they circulate out. White people circulate 16 days in their own community before they circulate out. Asians, 17 days. You never seen an Asian drive a Ford. 17 days into their own community before they circulate out. Black people, we circulate 6 hours in our own community before we circulate out. That's a problem. And then when Black people realized just in 2023, we were over $3.4 trillion in the consuming market. We own the economy, but at the wrong end. The need will never change. We need goods. But if we take ourselves out of consumer to producer, we flip the narrative and we flip that monopoly board. Because that if we don't understand that, going back to what Dr. Carrie said, we won't be able to educate our children right because the parents are not educated. Because they see the fact that, well, I went to public school, but you're seeing where now you're trying to find your own identity. You're trying to find your value. But if we change your mindset, then we can change the children's mindset because then you'll see the benefit. Me and my wife, we chose to homeschool our 4-year-old. Why?
Oh, there you go.
Because one, I'm her best educator. My wife is her best educator. We do use a K-12 program. And we're giving her the standard. But my daughter knows what it is. When we went and purchased some property about a month ago, she was at the table with us. Absolutely. I let her ask questions. I want her to understand. Because when I give her this business, I want you to be able to run it, whether you go to college or not. And so we have to start, like you say, advocating and understanding. Like you as a parent need to have a better understanding. And like what Harriet Tubman said, she said, you got to first know you a slave in order to be free. And a lot of adults and parents are not prepared to have that conversation with themselves on where they're lacking. Because your child should not be dependent on a system that was not designed for us. You don't see the Jewish community sending their children.
Absolutely not.
The Asian community send their children after the fact, after they've trained their child in their own lower education. Then they send them for higher education.
And then they go back.
And white people going to private schools because what they want to do is they don't want their child to get an education. They want their child to build a social network because that's how they benefit. Absolutely. And I tell people all the day, networking is where it's going to get you because they establish country clubs, golf clubs, all kind of social systems to get ahead. They dumb as hell.
Which brings in the Black woman. So it brings in the Black woman because one of the things to work when you dwindle down at the end, it's going to always be us. We are going to be the backbone. And that's why I'm so happy to see so many sisters saying, you know what? you take this session on your own. I'm not doing it anymore.
That's
Because
right.
one thing, when you start demanding your worth and demanding your pay, because one thing about Black people, we understand poor. COVID was a breeze for us. We understand.
We know
So
how to make chicken and
right,
rice.
but you have to stop worrying. We as a community have to stop worrying about what everybody else is saying, because it's a mentality and it is a mindset. I was educated in a white structured K-12 post-secondary system. I had to learn. Me too. I had to learn how to uncondition myself to assimilate. Say, no, I will not code switch. Yes, today I'm not putting my hair in a bun. You have to understand, as Harriet Tubman said, you have to understand what system you've already been assimilated to in order to disassociate yourself. Otherwise, you look at that as being the premium outlet. You tell your children, you tell your nieces and nephews, if you don't do step 1, step 2, step 3. And what did it get us? It got a lot of us educated, but in what? In financial ruins, with owing so much money. Now, look how the legislature fucked up when Biden and Harris started talking about forgiving student loans. What it's no pocket. What difference is it?
But I'm gonna play the system the way they play the system. I'm gonna keep going to school until I don't care if I get a doctorate in floristry. I'm not paying you back.
And
I mean,
I think also we also have to look at the fact that we are our worst enemy.
We are
our worst enemy, because we spend so much time trying to catch up with the Pattersons, the Andersons, pick a random name. You guys know who I'm talking about. That you will see a Black business that operates in excellence, and you first thing they come in the door asking for is what? A discount. Or questioning. It's because our value system is warped. Our value system is set up such that we are taught that everyone else's products are of quality and ours by de facto standard. We are less than substandard quality. And unfortunately, too many of our people believe it, such that when we start to build our own institutions, they traditionally don't do well enough because our own people aren't supporting.
We don't know but you know what? When we realize that I don't need my community to support, let's start there.
Agree.
Because if we're so reliant on their support, it's like the ideal of buy the block. The reason why I won't buy the block is because at the end of the day, you're not going to take care of the block. But I can get the same or more dollars by going to their neighborhood just like they come in ours.
All right.
So what I'm going to do is create something in their neighborhood and let them pay for whatever improvements I need to do in my neighborhood. I'm not buying the block because I'm not dependent on the Black dollar. That's not where the money is. The money is where the white dollar is. So you have to go where the white dollar is. And if we understand that and really truly see it, just like they bring a Chinese restaurant over here, I'm going to go and open up a high-end coffee shop over there. So the same amount as it costs for you to buy that whole Chinese meal, I just charge you for a coffee, and you don't know a Black woman own it. So we're going to flip the narrative. I'm going to do anything you can do, I can do better. And then I could take that money and establish a charter school that will educate our Black kids the way that we need to, because we know public funding is not going to come our way.
No.
But going back to what you said about them Black people not supporting is because it is a mindset. We're conditioned to think right is right.
Right.
And I'm going to throw in a shameless plug in one of my books called The Whitewashed Black Mind. It talks about representation in the workplace. And a lot of people don't understand it's the Black person that's in authority in those positions that have the most problem. And by me working in corporate, because I do work in corporate now, I have faced that so much because I come in with my authenticity. If I want to wear a bow tie today, I am, and it's not going to change how I operate. You don't need to change no pronouns for me. I am her. I am Joy. Call it for what it is. I'm here to do business. But what I find is that I'm always situated under a Black manager who acts like we're relating, but
Mm.
manage like I'm on a plantation. And when we have that I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, we're not going to do that. So you take off that white, because I'm like, you don't represent me. You can't speak for me. And we have to understand that that's also, it's past just looking at, well, it's the white man trying to keep me down. It's not always that.
It's not.
We don't take advantage of the opportunities that's there. And then we look at, and then we expect the black person to be on our side. No, sometimes the best allyship comes from a white person.
Mm.
I don't say white people at all, because they make me mad. I'm from the South. They trigger me every which way. But every now and again, you'll get a white person that can speak on your behalf in certain situations. And we have to network. We have to create partnerships. Like you said, Dr. Carrie, in your industry, if you don't have the right partnership that's going to advocate for you outside of the walls that you can't advocate in. They can speak your voice in spaces that you're not there yet, because they see that you offer a quality program for people that can help benefit all people. And whether they're using it as a step up or just using it to get their word in, be that use. Get your foot in and go in and take over.
Well, I think, go ahead.
No, and I was just going to say, to the point where, go back to where the coach was talking about bringing in your authentic self. That is something that we have oftentimes had to mask and make ourselves smaller. But I do also have a book, The Courageous Pursuit of Authenticity.
Where
the
book at? Okay, that's better. That's better. Don't come out here playing.
Don't tell me about it.
The Courageous Book of Authenticity. I may, you look, when we have a small break, I may look and see if I have an extra copy, because they still. Yes. But in that book, we talk to our community and let them know, stop making yourself small. Stop hiding your talent. Stop hiding your true self. Because what we found out, that then works on your psyche, which goes into the second book, and I will bring it up. The second book, which is, our wellness, the mental wellness that we have. We have to be sure to take care of ourselves. We're such caretakers, and we're taught to be caretakers and hold those roles, but we don't show up as our authentic selves, and we don't take up space in rooms that are not dominantly anybody's space. I used to go into my workshops talking about how to show up authentically in white spaces, but you know what? I stopped saying that, because that space doesn't belong to them.
It ain't white.
Exactly.
It's space. It's when you show up, is who is in that space, is who owns that space. And that's what
you
we
own
have
that space. You walk in and you own it. It's yours.
That's exactly.
I love how you say that.
People would be upset. I would understand why they were upset with me when I was, a principal. They were like, well, it's just something about you. And then after a while, after a couple of sessions, I figured out what it was. It's because I walk with confidence and assurity.
Yes. I say that is always going to.
I'm not looking for compliments from you. I'm not looking for your buy-in. I'm not looking for your permission, because when I walk and I speak, I'm going to speak with surety, and I'm going to speak with knowledge, and I'm going to have something to back it up. And if you are not if you're not a steward of your craft, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. Back to Dr. To Be Coach. When she said it, because you don't know. Your parents' dollars have gotten you where you are, or your parents' influence have gotten you where you are. But you want me to be behind the scenes and do all the work and think you're gonna take the credit? Oh yeah, that don't work that way.
But that's what happens in a lot of spaces. I know when I was still in corporate America, I worked at a major telecom company, and they had started a new program. Now I wrote all the policy. I wrote and trained every person that was on that team. But when it came time to promote, they're going to get somebody outside to come in, and now you expect me to train her. Now, she was a great person. I will never take anything from her. She was a great person, great addition to the team. Sometimes we do have to figure out how to play their game until we can get where we need to be. Now, I don't call it code switching because Leanne is never going to code switch. I've never done that in my life. How I speak is how I speak.
Right.
I'm a very direct, upfront person. Right. And people get a little bit upset when you're a direct person because they're not used to, especially Black women.
Right.
Sometimes we're not used to being able to assert ourselves and to speak up for ourselves in a corporate environment where most don't look like us.
Right. And that's the thing.
Is what we need to be self-assured and confident in ourselves, because I've always had to be 5 times better than their best person for them to act like I'm average.
Exactly.
But you know what? You just made a great point. The word assertive, because I also got a question I wanted to pose so that everybody can, kind of give impact.
Hold up for 1 second, because we do got to go to a break.
Okay.
And Dr. Carrie gonna go find that book. Stop playing with us. But we'll be back in about 1 minute after we take this quick break. Where is it? Look, they play.
Hey, sis. Ever feel like you're on the verge of a meltdown? Are you overwhelmed from juggling your job, your family, and trying to fit in me time, but seriously dropping the ball on that last one? Guess what? You're not alone. Introducing the Burnout Recovery Kit. It's your 14-day lifeline to go from burnt out to lit up. Get ready to reclaim your joy, energy, and that I got this attitude. Grab your free ebook, a purpose-driven workbook, daily email prompts, as well as SMS boosters and Q&A sessions. It's like a spa day for your soul, and guess what? It's totally free. Don't waste another minute feeling drained. Go to officialburnoutrecoverykit.com right now and kickstart your transformation. The Burnout Recovery Kit, because you deserve to be at the top of your own to-do list. Don't just cope. Thrive, sis.
All right, and we are back.
I like that.
All right. Well, thank you. So go ahead and continue, Joy, with what you were saying before.
So you brought up the word assertive. And one, I don't think everybody defines that word correctly. And because we are always assertive, but they defined it and they interpret it as aggressive.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you're always, even because I'm going to give some true story here. So I'm actually wrapping up a EEOC situation with a company. And that was one of the words they used towards me. So what I did was I gave a reply before we took it to the EEOC, even with a Harvard study article to saying why using the word aggressive is so offensive. And I gave this whole thing. I said, because I'll admit I'm assertive, 100%. I'm me. I was born this way. It is what it is. I said, I'm the family manager. I'm the oldest of all the kids. I'm always was in charge. I said, but that never made me aggressive. I didn't bite you. I didn't curse you. I didn't yell. I didn't roar. I didn't do anything. I gave you what I felt, how I felt in the best verbiage. You could have chat GPT what I said. And I said, but you interpreted it because of your fragility. That's not my problem. And so Black women has to understand how to have that conversation and put it in this perspective and give pause to the situation. Because when someone comes to you in that manner, don't be triggered by it. And that's really on our topic. That's a good book, Triggers. And it's by a guy named David Roshi. So I don't know him personally, but it was something to help because you need to identify trigger words because we can get triggered so quick. You have to be able to put, you know what, and position it back to that person to where they feel how the insult without you insulting them. And you can use your words to do it. Because why do you feel? And then when they explained why they felt, he said, well, I didn't do any of those things. So I would say that I was more assertive, but to your fragility, you took it in a different way. And I think that's something that you need to own that I don't have to own on your behalf.
Yeah.
And then you sit quiet and look at them
Mm-hmm.
because you got to let it sit in and let them marinate on that idea. Because it's okay, like Dr. Carrie say, to be authentic. It's okay to own every good thing about you and that they look as bad, but you have to be able to do it in the right way. And we don't code switch. I don't put on hair just to go into the workplace. I don't put on a dress to go into the workplace. I am who I am. And I work in a very male dominated. I get it all the time, especially for them good old boys that wear the country boots and the cargo pants, because typically I'm on a construction site and I'm the project director. So you're going to do what I ask you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And when I walk in, well, we're waiting on Joy. That's me. I'm here to inspect what I expect.
Right,
There's nothing
exactly.
they can do. But then on the flip side, I get it from Black men, because when we do MBE meet and greets, I'm there for you because I want you to get into this white organization and get these contract dollars. But I've had 2 men that walk right past me. Oh, I'm looking for such and such. And I'm like, they really don't know they're here to see me. I'm the one that own the pen on that contract, but you want to go see Jay. And then after I let him walk around, this is a true story. I let him walk around the entire night, and I went back to him. I said, "Did you find Jay?" He was like, "No, he's not here." I said, "Because it's Joy."
Exactly.
Yeah.
I said, and I'm the one that sent you the email for you to submit your paperwork to me so I can get you on this contract. I'm so sorry, sister. Don't sister me.
Don't sister me, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is $1.8 million that I could have gave to somebody else, but I purposely chose your Black ass to have it because I'm in a space to where I can do that for you. But you came looking for Jay.
Right. Right.
When you find Jay, let me know. We're good friends now.
But, that's the way it is. I have had people on my campus, and they were like, "I'm looking for the principal. I'm looking for Dr. Carrie Young-McWilliams." Okay. Yeah. Well, is she coming back to this office? This is.
I haven't left.
Whose name is on that door? You be like,
it did say principal, but I like, who would be in here just hanging out?
But
I'm sorry, I'm not the little Irish Catholic girl you thought I was.
That is the problem. You're gonna look right past us and you make assumptions about who we are instead of coming in open and receiving and of that. But we got to get to the actual topic of this show because we're supposed to be talking about books. That's what we're supposed to be talking about. But not saying the rest of that was not necessary and a beautiful conversation, and I really enjoyed it. But I do want to get to the space of talking about how, as Black women, we can curate powerful lists of books to help move us in the directions that we are talking about. Because everything that we've talked about is going to relate to the books that we are reading. Joe already gave us one recommendation, Triggers by David Richo, Richo. It's in the comments. So you guys can
Richoe. Yeah.
When I looked on Amazon, it just said Richo. Maybe that's the wrong.
That might be him. Hold on. That is it. I lied. It's Richo.
No, you didn't lie. You just were mistaken. It wasn't a lie.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I lied.
intentional. I feel like a lie is intentional.
No, I had to look on the shelf. I'm like, hey, it does say oh.
Yes. So if you had to recommend one book to a young woman, she's new, she's coming up in the world, she's trying to make her place, what is one book that you would recommend? Now I'm gonna go first because I know. Need Your Glover, Set Boundaries, Find Peace. Because if you've ever watched any episode of this show, Sheronda, what is the one thing that we talk about all the time?
Boundaries and your teacup.
Ding, 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 ding. That's it. Boundaries to me, is how you start healing, how you start moving and
Mhm.
shaking and going from just surviving to unapologetically thriving. Right.
Mhm.
So that's one book. Now the other book I'm gonna say is also, and mine ain't even a shameless plug. It's a plug. You're gonna go get this book, From Trauma to Triumph: The Black Woman's Journey to Waking Up Happy Every Day. This
Mm.
is my book that I have written that I am very proud of, because this book is just full of tips to help you get out of your own way.
Mhm.
Because so often we're doubting how dope we are, because the world is tossing all these things on top of us and expecting us to be better than everybody else, and you still want to act like we ain't shit.
Right.
But we have to get out of our own way. We have to start our healing journey and get on that road and stay on that road. And we have to set those boundaries. We talk about boundaries in this book as well, right? So that's my, I guess, two books, because
Mhm.
I plug my own book, but that's my one book that I would recommend. So what about you, Dr. Carrie? Is there a book? And did you find your book? A copy of
Yes,
it?
I did, so I can hold it up for everyone to see.
We ain't
So,
playing with you.
so the courageous pursuit of authenticity.
Love that cover.
Myself and 7 other courageous women share our personal journeys and how we found our own authenticity or our becoming in different spaces and what that took and the courage that it takes to do that, because that political courage is real, and you have to, weigh what can you live without and what
Yeah.
do you need. It's really doing that self-reflection on what is a need versus what is a want, and what am I willing to sacrifice, because once
Mhm.
you lose yourself, it's hard to find yourself. So I recommend this, and I definitely recommend it for young adults, because coming out of the K-12 system, you need this. Everybody is not going to have that, different world experience at a HBCU. You're
Whoop,
going
whoop.
to need to know how to find your authenticity, because your parents did the best that they knew how to do. And 9 times out of 10, it was catered to the system that was not designed to make you successful. So
Mhm.
once you find your
Amen.
authenticity and you walk in that purpose, then we don't hear all these stories about low self-esteem, you know, mental breakdowns, and all the things that plague our community. Which brings me to my other book, Voices of Wellness,
Yes.
a mental health analogy. And everywhere from everybody, it was just 10 of us. We have an NFL wife down to, military officer, to myself, an educator. We just let you know these courageous stories of how we are well. And we call it wellness because we're not looking at ourselves as having mental illness, because that's a
Mhm.
stigma. Then people will then label you. But
Yes.
managing whatever anxiety we may have, whatever depression we may have, because we have not been our authentic selves, it will cause you and drive you in that medium. So, Voices of Wellness is an anthology to let you know, one, you're not alone. One of the things that pushed us to put this project together was so many young Black successful women unaliving themselves. The,
Mhm.
Mhm.
the vice president over at Lincoln University, the former Miss USA, those people were very accomplished women who had what we would look in today's standards as everything, and they took their own lives.
Mhm.
So we have to make sure that we're walking in who we are, so we don't get to that breaking point.
Mhm.
And I got to sneak this in because it's another person, Unbreak My Soul by Dr. Carrie Yazid, Yazeed. And she does a whole handbook on how Black women can begin to heal from that workplace trauma,
Mm.
because
Mhm.
it's real, it's there. You can't go in every day and people are calling you aggressive and you not begin to reflect and think
Right.
that. is wrong with you. You can't go in every time people talk about your tone and not begin to self-assess and think something is wrong with you. I can speak to it because I've been through it.
Right.
And you can read about it in these books. But she walks a person through that who may be in that situation and helps them develop an exit plan if that's what they need to do. So I'll one up the host, unfortunately, by putting all of those in. But I think that they work so intertwined, and I if I can save one life, I've done my job, because that's what I really have written these things to do.
And I wanted to, before I go to the next person, is when we go back to that concept of being aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
We already know that these spaces were not created for us to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that we are educating ourselves on how to represent ourselves appropriately in these spaces. If you're not a reader, become one. That is a skill that you can grow. Everybody's like, oh, I don't run. Yes, you can. I've been watching a TikTok with a young man who got through he's grown. He didn't even young man, it's a grown man who didn't know how to read, and he's been teaching himself how to read because the school system failed him.
Wow.
Right? So I really implore you, one, don't take anybody's talking about you're aggressive. Now, if you're aggressive, that's different.
Right.
Right. You in there threatening people, you act in a certain kind of way, that's different. But if you are assertive, if you are confident, that was the only place where I saw aggression was from white males in any environment I've been in, because I've always been one of the only Black women or Black people in these environments, especially in a position of leadership. And that's when I was young in my career, and I'm sitting back like this. They get to cuss at their manager at work, and all the aggression was coming from them. But the minute I step up and I assert myself, then now I'm the aggressive one.
Right.
So we have to know how to move and shake in these spaces, and you have to be well read.
Yes.
So that you know all the tools and the tricks, and you know the things that you can pull to help your argument. Because trust me, when you're assertive, you gonna get called into HR at some point for something, because someone's going to feel intimidated by who you are. And so I just wanted to make that statement. It's okay for you to be assertive.
Absolutely.
Always be assertive. Always stand up for yourself and for what's right. Just let's do it with a structure around it.
Play chess, not checkers, and get yourself.
Don't talk on my point yet, Dr. Carrie. Don't hit my note, Twinkie. Don't do that.
And the thing is, both of us are from the South. I didn't know that until she mentioned it, and it's so funny. I'm Mississippi South. So listen. So I'm
my note, Twinkie.
Okay.
Now come on, Joy. What is your?
You about to take it?
She's about to take it. I saw it. You see, I tried to steer it back around to you. I saw it. I
get your hand out my pocket.
Asserted herself. You see, audience, that's an assertion. She asserted herself. I'm still.
That's not aggression.
And no aggression.
You see the
difference? So, I love how every book that we're bringing up is coming full circle.
Yes.
I promise you, I'm enjoying this moment. So I take a little bit of what everybody put together, and one of my go-to reads is one of my own books. It's called When I Grow Up, I Want to Be Just Like Me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And what it takes around the whole idea of when, everybody always asks you that question, what you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor. I want to be this. And so we tend to find our reflection in somebody else's mirror. And we don't know who we are authentically. We don't know, because You see only when you think of money, you only see Oprah. So then you want to be like Oprah. Wow, no, everybody's success is differently. I don't have to have Oprah anything to have Oprah's type money. I have to develop my own way. So when it's talking about authenticity, is finding who you are, truly who you are, and building on that. And so be who you are. You will success. You just do it differently than everybody else. Yeah. Nobody was created the same. We're not created equal. We're meticulously and peculiarly made. We're made in his image and his likeness, but everybody's not made the same. Everybody don't get the same graces. And what I mean by that is a topic that I taught on is about, and I'm sorry, I do throw a lot of biblical things in there. It's the story of when the master gave 3 of his servants, because we know it's the white Bible. That's a whole totally different topic. Talents. He gave 1 5, 1 2, 1 1. But the Bible says according to their ability. So you may think it's unfair because you only got 1 talent, but that could be the talent, right? That overtakes the 5 talents somebody else got. So you don't belittle what you have because everybody's success is different, and you don't find that out until you know who you are. So when you grow up, you want to be just like you. I don't want to be like nobody else. Right. Nobody. My money is mine. My way is mine. I love everything I found out about myself. I suffer from imposter syndrome. I don't care how many degrees I got. I got 2. I'm working on the 3rd one. I have almost 8 certifications. And I'm like, I still felt beneath and below and had to dumb myself. No, I came out of that. Because I know what I bring to the table. I know that I am a value add. I'm a culture add. I'm not a culture fit. So if you want me in your organization, I'm not coming in a blue chambray shirt and khakis. I have my own outfit. And my outfit matters. And that's the way we have to see ourselves. And then once you find your true authenticity, when you know who you are and what you want to do, now it's time to play chess. That's why I say you got to get your head in my pocket. This is my most recent book called Checkmate. Look.
He said, get up, out.
Because at the end of the day, we always taught how to play checkers. Everybody's just there to win. But when you play chess, that's a whole strategic way of winning. And so I crafted this book, and it's specifically for Black women. The ultimate guide of master moves for executive level success in business and entrepreneurship for Black women. And I focus on the game, the pieces, the moves, the strategies, and I turn it into a business perspective on how you can navigate in corporate and in entrepreneurship. Because one thing about it, when we look at chess, the game dictates who moves first, and it's the white pieces. That's fine. You can move first because it causes me as a Black piece to come up with a strategy to beat yours. You have the advantage. You have the systematic advantage. But I have the ability to see your moves and strategically move around it. Right. And we think that the king is the winner. Absolutely not. The king is the gold. The queen owns the board. He can do everything any piece can do. And when we realize who we are, we own the board. And then I'm going to get this up and I'm going to wrap it up. The second piece is the pawn. The 2 prominent pieces, the queen and the pawn, because you can turn a pawn into a queen. You can't turn a bishop into one. You can't do a rook. You can't do a knight. But a pawn can become a queen. They can do the same move. They're just on the front line. So when you train your people, when we establish our businesses and we give back and train other Black women, Black children, how to be successful, we're creating pawns into queens to protect the king, which is the goal. Right. Not a person. So this is actually not only a book, but it's a program that I offer, a coaching program as well. But this is to teach you. It gives you strategies. It gives you self-care. It gives you a plan book, a workbook, everything to get you to be successful because you're going to build off of your gift that you're bringing to the table. Remember, like we said earlier, you're changing from consumer to producer. So you're going to produce an industry something that's going to make the consumers bring you money, and that's how you get wealth.
All right.
I love it. Now, Sharonda, you got some book recommendations?
Why should I give you anything? We got like 10 billion books recommendations
Doesn't matter.
between the three
It
of y'all.
doesn't
I ain't
matter
got nothing for you, man.
because I asked for it. That's fine because I got more books. Okay, you ain't said nothing but okay? You ain't said nothing but a thing. That's fine.
Well,
But
I
look.
too
No.
am.
Oh, now you want to put
Yes,
a book up.
yes.
Now you want to put it, but I'm gonna I'm
Yes,
gonna
I too am a part of an anthology from back in the day and stuff, but
what
it's
was his name?
I said back in the day. You want me to remember this stuff, man? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
If I get another break, I'll go find it for you. But you guys, man, I love the coach and coach. I mean, Dr. Carrie y'all, the tools that have just been shared with this audience. Please go back and watch this episode and get these
That's right.
doggone titles because some of these books could have healed me in so many different aspects of my life. Like, navigating corporate America, or the book After You Leave Corporate America. Y'all spoke to my soul in different eras of my life that can definitely help the masses. And I love the book that's geared just for us, by us, to the coach, and the joy you had explaining all of the books in the girl.
Look.
Hey,
She over there like,
I ain't got
and
nothing.
then, bam! You see, and then wait, bam! But then I also got
And then bam,
you know,
two,
then
three.
this little bam. I love it. You ain't
Flat out.
Y'all know I'm extra. Y'all realize
okay.
listen, I'm very
It's
extra.
okay. You are you. You ain't extra. You are you, and you are more
That's
than
right.
enough. I don't even like when people be like extra. I'm not extra. I'm Leanne. Thank you very much.
I love it.
If you see it as extra, maybe you are too little. Don't do
I,
that about me because I am.
I I wanted to offer a money making idea to everybody on this panel, if I could. The book that you wrote, right?
Mhm.
You sell this for what? However the amount that you sell it for. I want to challenge you to make it into a master class.
Mhm.
I found it.
Take that master class and then make it into a coaching program.
Mm.
So you went from a $20 sale, if that's how much the book costs, a $20 sale, to a $200 master class, to a $2,000 program, to a $20,000 ticket coaching client
That's
from the
right.
same information. Take what you wrote, create it out,
Mhm.
and then you make that money. Because you may have to sell 50,000 books at $20 to get $1 million, but then you can sell 5,000 $200 program master classes. You can sell 500 $2,000 programs, and then you only need how many? Five $20,000 customers, because the customer is out there. You just haven't put it out there for you to be found. So take this, and that's what I did. I took this, I did a master class. I got that. Next, I turned it into a 5-day course program, doing a group. And then if you want to work with me one-on-one, because my time ain't cheap,
All right.
Amen.
and you got a high dollar ticket, you know your value.
Yes,
You
right.
don't have to sell it to them. You need for them to find their value, and that's what you do. I'm sorry, we was taking a quick.
No. That was good. That was good.
Good
That was
information.
good. There's nothing wrong with that. So
found
what I
it.
need for Joy and Dr. Carrie is
Hold on, you got to
private chat
take your back to
description.
them.
Free and fearless. I
Okay,
am
there you go.
Yes. Yes.
I
Look at
like
that.
that.
But I need you guys to drop the title in private chat.
Published authors.
Yes, all these public authors. But listen, now I need y'all to stop talking now.
Okay,
Say something.
yes, ma'am.
Now, thank you. I need for everyone, drop those titles into the private chat. What I'm going to do is also make sure that when we upload this to all the podcasting networks, that you guys will have access to the list of all the books that your esteemed panelists have written, been involved in, been published within. Okay. Now, I also have a book coming out. Bam.
Well, come on, man.
Yes.
Look, I got like 3 books in the hopper, baby. They coming. But this one is, and it's so funny that you said that, Joy, is this one is centered around a master class and an actual training. It's called Who Sabotaged My Happiness?
Oh, I love
It's
the cover.
really about us realizing that we are the ones sabotaging our happiness by the things that we're allowing to affect us. And it has a 12-week program that goes along with it to help you get the most from how do I shift my mindset? Because everything starts in your mind. It all starts here.
Right.
We change here, you will see so much in your life start to change. It's like you're jumping timelines, and we're letting go of that negative, that sad timeline, and we are moving into our highest timelines, our happiest timelines, our most abundant and prosperous timelines. But we have to start with us. Nobody can fix you. You have everything within you to fix you.
Right.
We have to know and realize that. And then the last one I'm gonna pop up is my anthology. It's our annual anthology, Gumbo for the Black Woman's Soul.
Love it.
This
like
is
it.
a labor of love, and it's like chicken soup for the soul, but for us.
I was thinking that. I was like, yeah, that we need our own. We don't do chicken soup.
We
We do
don't do
gumbo.
chicken soup, we do gumbo, and every story is like a different ingredient in this gumbo, right? And these are women who we've had ones who have dealt with sexual abuse and assault, with going to prison, with being locked in mental institutions. These are women who have fought the system, they've fought the trauma, and they're on the other side of that trauma. There is joy after all the trauma and the hurt and the pain, but we have to be willing to want to get there. We have to be willing to walk into that storm, to address it, to process it, and stop letting everything trigger us back into that hurt, painful thing. And that's what this book is going to help you do. So you see all of these books. I had a whole list of other authors. We don't even need nobody else. You got 47 books between 4 people that can
right here for you.
get every part of your life together. So I am definitely going to post in the comments everybody's books, because I want us to support us, because we all we got, as my big brother Tony would say, we all we got. And if we don't support us, if we don't lift us up, nobody else is going to.
Right.
So
I love
we are
that.
here to help and support us. So as we close out, it's time for your final words. So we're going to start with you, Dr. Carrie. She over there. We go. You ready, or I could go to Joy first because you type.
Go to Joy first. Go to Joy first. But Joy, look, what do they say? Airtime, please. Airtime. Share the space. Share the space.
So Joy, can you give us your final thought and tell the people where they can find you, and if you have anything special coming up?
Absolutely. I appreciate this opportunity. So www.iamjoyyoung.com. You can reach out to me. You will see links for all of the businesses I have. And it's definitely geared for Black success and Black wealth. All of my books are available on Amazon for sale. You can also find me on Facebook under Joy Young. You can also, I have a Facebook group called The Winning Circle, where I do group coaching and group mentorship. I'm on TikTok, The Winning Circle. I think that's where I'm at. Yeah. And I also have a YouTube called The Winning Circle. So listen, I'm all about your success. Everybody's success is differently. And when you realize that your success matters, you will find yourself, like how Leanne stated about being in the right connection, and how the universe will bring God, universe, however you want to input that, because I believe in both. The universe will bring the right people, put you in the right place for what you need. And if you're tuned in today, we had everything you need. So you prayed for it and we just brought it to you. You just have to see it in that manner, right? And so if you do get one of the books, or however you want to do, we're giving you the tools to be successful.
That's
And
right.
I would admonish you to take that. You don't need a flashing hot now sign like you passing Krispy Kreme. You just got one. And you have to see the benefit in it because you're all beautiful. You bring everything to the table. He has given us all things that pertain unto life and godliness. And godliness is broke down this way. Godliness, and if you read it backward, ness, God, it says the state of like God. So you have everything to rule the what you need in your life and to help your neighbor. I love you. This is Joy, the coach, and that's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you. And Dr. Carrie.
I just want to say thank you again for the invite to come on. I put my website there in the chat where you can reach me at Empowered Ed Solutions by Young and Horner LLC. We would love to take on the project and help you become a better business, a better place, and bring some authenticity to your work. My upcoming project that I have coming out with some other authors is another anthology, From Trenches to Triumph, the second edition. That is slated to be out in February. So again, more workplace stories, more workplace narratives and strategies on how to navigate these systems that we've talked about today. These institutions were not built overnight, and it's going to take us a while to dismantle them. But as I say, we have to stay in the fight. We have to keep in the fight because, as Angela Davis said, freedom is a constant struggle, and that's what we have to do. It's a constant struggle.
Right.
Just how we are going to go about that struggle, and if we're going to be strategic about it, as my colleague here, Dr. Joy, soon to be. The girl is it's in the
That's
stars.
gonna be Dr. Joy.
Okay,
Just
it's in the stars.
call me. Yeah.
Dr. Joy
Joy the
has
coach.
said, okay. And like I said, ashe to everything that was said today. I do believe that we can be not our worst enemies, but we can be our best supports. And
Right.
but it will take work on all parties.
Yes. All right. And Sheronda, you got any final words you want to say to the people?
Grace. Show yourself grace. You have
good.
everything you need,
Yes.
just like the ladies just got done telling you. You have every single thing you need to be successful. You don't have to go far for it. It's right here. It's right here. Go back and watch this show, get these resources, and reach out if you need some help. But my new official title is Lady of Leisure.
Yes.
I
Yes,
have
she is a lady
yeah,
of leisure. Yes.
Lady of Leisure. I have been liberated from corporate America. And I'm wrapping up, closing up my bookkeeping business so I can focus on me now. So that grace at every step of the way is impossible to forget. You've got to give yourself grace and don't wait for anybody to give it to you. You take
Right.
All right. That's right. And look, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Life is a journey. Every chapter of your story is so worth telling. Now, the books we read and the knowledge we gain, they may shape our future, but it's the actions that we take that really transforms our lives. You're not alone on this journey. Sharon just told you, if you need some help, reach out. You've got resources on here. You've got resources on here. You've got collectively probably over 130 years of experience, okay?
Right.
Of experience, of knowledge that we are willing to share with you. You just have to knock on the door and ask for it. So I want you to lean into your power, lean into your community, lean into your reflection, and lean into self-love. And as always, I want you to wake up happy, sis. So we will see y'all on Monday.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Wake Up Happy Sis Show. Join us live every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more joy, healing, and sisterhood. Until next time, keep thriving unapologetically, sis.